Poshmark has been pretty hormonal lately, but I'm going to share how I've been trying to keep up with consistent sales. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, I'm a casual reseller on the US and Canadian Poshmark app as well as eBay. In today's video, I'm going to share 7 tips on how I've been trying to continue with my sales and how I've been managing to have $700 and $800 weekend sales. If you like reselling content like this, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. So before I get into the 7 tips, I just want to share the general idea of, staying consistent and not letting those days where you have 0 sales kind of bring you down, or having like days and days without any sales, because I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're continuing to change the search engine and everything like that. So hopefully this is just a temporary thing, but hopefully when I share these 7 tips that it will lead you to more sales. So as I've always shared, I am a casual seller. I only do this, when I have free time. I barely have any time to post or list consistently. So yeah, there are definitely days where I don't post anything. I don't even photograph anything, or I don't spend any time on my reselling business other than sharing my closet. So if you are someone like me and you just do this on a casual or part-time basis and you might not always have the time to invest into your reselling business, my first tip for you is to do a bulk photographing session or bulk drafting session. And this is basically where you take all your pictures of the items that you want to list. Let's say you went on a thrift trip and you brought home 1 bag of clothes. Let's say you only have 1 hour. Try to get as much inventory of that photographed and into your inventory system. You don't necessarily have to list them right away. Just photograph all the images, write all the details, like if you provide measurements and stuff like that, write it in a book or onto your phone. And if you still have time after photographing everything, you start to create drafts. Now drafts, I started to implement them. I hadn't before, but I realized that this is a good way to have listings ready to be posted, but you don't want to post them yet. So I work 12-hour shifts, so during those days that I have work, I don't have any time to photograph or list anything. But by using drafts, you are now able to just click post, and then now you have new items into your closet. And that way you can generate traffic into your closet from people that shop with just in rather than, recommended or just shared, etc. This is something that I want to continue to implement while I'm going forward with my business, just because it allows me to get through the inventory that I had brought home faster by photographing things, and then I can put them in my inventory system, like my spreadsheet, and then into my storage containers. So this will also help me kind of organize things, so I don't have piles of bags that I have to list and piles of bags that have to be stored away. My second tip for you is to hold a sale. Create a posting that you keep at the top of your closet, or you can use the My Shoppers tool, and basically you can bulk message all the people that had liked an item, let's say in the last 2 weeks, and just say, hey, I'm having a sale. If you're interested in buying your liked items, you can get it for, X amount dollars off or whatever. By holding a sale, you might take lower offers in what you were hoping to make, but at least that kind of generates the sales coming into your closet, and hopefully you're able to make those goals or your sales goals you made for that day or for that week. My third tip for you is to take advantage of closet clear out. So now this might not necessarily pertain to the US closet, just because the discount for closet clear out is a lot less. I think it's like $1.79 or like around $2 for having discounted shipping for closet clear out. Whereas for a Canadian platform, depending on the item that you are selling, you can get roughly around $6 to $7 off of shipping just for dropping your price by 10%. And similar to tip number 2, you can use the My Shoppers tool to send a bulk message to all the people that had liked something recently and just say, hey, it's closet clear out. If I lower the price, you can also get discounted shipping. If you're interested, let me know and I can lower the price for you. If you haven't seen my recent Ship With Me video, that's basically what I did, and I was able to make 2 sales. One was the Doc Marten boots and one was a Free People dress. So those sold for $108 and $90. So that was already almost $200 in sales just by doing this. Now, you might have some people that are annoyed by receiving messages like this. I didn't receive any negative comments or feedback from doing this. As long as you don't do it like, let's say every single day or so, like that might be excessive. But, there of course are people that are just grumpy, and I don't know why they like the item in the first place if they're just going to be rude about it if you're trying to, sell them an item at like a discounted or cheaper rate. So, you do have to be mindful that you don't do it so often that it's annoying. Or you can just keep track of when you last did it so you don't have to repeat the people that you had sent a message before. A hack for you by doing this is to use your desktop, and basically you go to my shoppers tool just like you would on your phone, and you would select the first person that you want to send the message to, scroll down to the last person that you want to send a message to, click the shift button on your laptop and click that box. And basically that will select all the users in between, and that way you don't have to individually select each user. And of course that saves you a bunch of time, and you can easily send the message to these people. The fourth tip that I have for you is to recheck comps or to take offers. Now, of course, when you list something for sale, you list it as higher than, the lowest that you're willing to take, just to allow that margin of, people sending offers. So let's say somebody sends you an offer and it's half of what your listing price is, which kind of happens a lot to me. Make sure that you double check comps or recent solds, because from the time that you first checked the item and had sourced that item, let's say it was 6 months ago, maybe the comps for that item had changed. You're able to kind of compare the recent solds and see, oh hey, the past like 5 or 6 solds are actually similar to what they offered me. As long as your cost of goods and your profit margin is still reasonable, it's probably better if you accept the offer rather than countering and losing out on the sale. Because the value of an item is all about supply and demand, if there are a ton of listings of that size and they're all listed a lot lower than yours, then even if you receive that offer, it's better to accept it, get that item out, even though you might make only like $5 to $10 on that item. Especially if it's something that had been sitting in your closet for months or like even longer than that. It's better to get rid of that item and to reinvest that money into something better, and using that knowledge that you had learned over the past year or so and investing it into something that will sell better and faster for you. Number 5, my tip is to provide a more detailed description. So previously, when I would photograph and list simultaneously, I would, sometimes in the description, I'll just write great condition or new with tags. So recently I've been creating more detailed descriptions by, Google searching the exact item that I am selling, finding it on the website that's being sold at, and then just copying all that description and then pasting it into my listing. That way you have a really good description on the item that you're selling, and maybe if somebody is searching for those descriptive words, then they are able to find your listing a little bit better through like Google or through the app, any type of way. But being more descriptive, including those style tags in the Poshmark app, as well as maybe including some keywords in your description as well. The 6th tip that I have for you kind of goes against my last tip, which was to provide a more detailed description, but this one is to provide a more simple title. Because of Poshmark's ever-changing search engine and search process, algorithm, whatever you want to call it, the listings or the titles that have more favorability to showing up higher in their search are ones that match their exact description of what they're looking for. So let's say I am selling a Babaton. It's called the Cajo robe. My title was Aritzia Babaton Cajo robe striped duster open cardigan extra small. If you think of what a buyer is looking for, they would never write such a long title. They would never write, open cardigan, blah, blah, blah. They would probably just search the style that they're looking for. So let's say Babaton Cajo robe. So by simplifying your title into something that people would actually search for, that would kind of boost your listing into showing up higher in somebody's search. So instead of writing that long title that I just mentioned, I'm going to simplify it into just saying, Aritzia Babaton Cajo robe striped or something along those lines. And that way, it's more likely that somebody would search those words rather than, having the open front cardigan, duster, etc. And the last tip that I have for you is probably an obvious one, but it is to cross-list to multiple platforms. There are obviously other platforms that you can cross-list to, such as eBay, Depop, Vinted, Mercari, Tracy, Facebook Marketplace. Those are just some examples that I've heard of. Cross-listing just basically gives you more exposure for the items that you're trying to sell. Some people don't even shop on Poshmark. Let's say they only shop on Depop or Facebook Marketplace. By listing your items there, it exposes it to more audience and potential buyers. So of course it takes more time, but if Poshmark is dead, you have to find your source of income elsewhere. So if you find that your sales on Poshmark are completely non-existent, maybe it's a good idea to cross-list onto other platforms. Maybe try eBay. I know eBay really scares some people, but it's actually not too bad. I haven't had any horrible stories on there. If you want me to make more like eBay related videos, I would be happy to do so, even though I'm just kind of a novice on eBay as well. But yeah, if you want me to make eBay related videos, I'd be happy to do so. So that concludes the 7 tips and tricks that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments if you do some of these and it actually helps with your sales. I'd be happy to know that these tips actually helped you in some way. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.